In this first edition of All-Star American Wrestling, we'll be featuring some of the finest pro wrestlers in the world, and you'll have a ringside seat for the most exciting action to be found anywhere. Later, we'll meet the master himself, Greg the Hammer Valentine, as he takes on the one and only Deadly Dutchman. Tag newcomers, the Rockers, have an awesome challenge against the champions in 37 countries, the Sheepherders. The Mid-South Tag Team Championships gives us a title bout between the Samoans and Ted DiBiase and Bob Roop. Watch out for a controversial decision. The Southern Heavyweight Belt is the prize for the winner of the bout between Rick Rude and Jerry Lawler. Whoever said the Cold War was over? G.I. Sergeant Joe Slaughter steps up to challenge Boris the Russian Zhukov. 4 of the meanest wrestlers in the world meet in the ring as Bruno Sammartino and Dick the Bruiser come up against Ernie Ladd and Darren Von Raschke. But first, let us enter the Shark Cage, where Randy Macho Man Savage challenges the Southern Heavyweight Champion Jerry Lawler.
Savage, whoa, taking some shots from Lawler. Puts him down on a canvas. And the only other meeting in history that these two have had, Savage poured it on Lawler, Lawler poured it right back. And when Jerry got Randy Savage in a position, it looked like he was all through. Savage's father, Angelo Popo, jumped in the ring. And a disqualification. Wait a minute, Savage going up to the top of the ring post. Lawler saying, hey, don't run off. I want you right here in the ring. Lawler unloaded some shots on him. Referee Jerry Calhoun intercepts the King's bid to go over and hit Savage. Savage, quite an athlete. Ooh, he spit all over Lawler. And here comes the King after him. Savage, standing side headlock, zings him over the shoulder. Jerry lost his cool, and as he got into Savage, Macho Man wrapped him up, nailed him hard, side headlocked him, and now reverse face lock on him. I don't know whether he's got his bone down there on that sleeper side or not. It's hard to tell. Referee Jerry Calhoun checking in there. Certainly he would see it if it were an illegal choke. Lawler hooks the leg. Savage kicking it, trying to get away from it. Some kind of double rough, my friend. It has yet to begin. The time has started. The bell has sounded. But knowing these two wrestlers and what they feel for each other, you are going to see fireworks and a half. Woo! And Lawler fires Savage in to the two main side supports on this side. Savage hit those 2x4s, bounced off and hit that concrete floor, fell off on his back. And he's in the corner trying to get back up in the ring. The side he is down on, not all sides have any slack in them. For instance, the side closest to the timer's table is right next to the ring. Referee checking him out at Lawler's request. And Savage opened the hands, nothing there. Jerry stunned him with that move. Strong arm bar from Savage. Now he grabs the hair. We can see it. He did it away from referee Jerry Calhoun. He's got him being barred just below the elbow. That's painful. You can do that when you've got a man on a canvas because he is not as likely to be able to move out of the way. Lawler drops a foot over the rope, and that's going to call for a break, but Savage won't allow it. He pulls him off the ropes out to the center of the ring. Lawler now turns the wrist over. I couldn't see it. I see Savage going to the tights. Lawler grabs his eyes, and he was screaming. I don't know what he had. Referee checks his hands, but he obviously is rid of whatever it was by this moment. We're at the 7-minute mark. Lawler and Savage. Lawler in the corner again. Going after Lawler's eyes. Referee broke it up. Randy puts him on the deck. 1, 2. Lawler's foot is up on the rope. 2 count only. Savage furious. He jerks Lawler up, and the referee says, "No, sir, you didn't break the hold." Ooh. Stomp Lawler hard right in the chest. Lawler trying to block the suplex. Savage nails him. And Lawler knocked over on the apron. And he is off on the concrete floor. Watch out. Savage goes up to the top turnbuckle. Drops down right on Lawler's back. Whoop. He was on top of that ring post. Dropped outside the ropes. And again, Macho Man going for the throat of the eyes. Only the people right over there in front of it can tell. What? We are blocked in the view from it. Lawler draped over the bottom rope. Savage hanging on. Now he kicks the King back down in between the cage and the floor and slams his face. Ooh. Ooh, ooh. That's why they call it the most dangerous match in wrestling. Savage again, risking the count on the referee. He started to hit him, and that was going to be all there was to that. Lawler trying to get away, but Savage catches up to him and bounces his head off the ring post. There's the 10-minute call with 50 minutes to wrestle. Lawler in trouble as Savage has pulled out all the stops on the King. You could hear the response from the crowd as Savage wailed him with the right hand. Foot to the midsection. By Lawler around and snapped into the side of the ring. target. Lawler's got whatever it was that Savage had. He's going after him. Lawler in payback. The referee comes over, and Calhoun's telling Lawler, watch it, disqualification, but Savage right back again. Tough son of a gun. He's going up on top of that cage. I don't believe it. He is way up in the air. The Macho Man is said to be crazy. I believe it now. Comes off the top of that cage. Down in the center of that ring. Lawler moved out of the way. And the height was such that the Macho Man stunned himself. And here comes the King. Lawler rolled out of the way. Savage hits both of the ropes, flipped back on his head. And Lawler going with a pile driver, and the referee's going to stop him. Lawler, despite the warning of the official, he's trying to pay Savage back all at once. Up in the air, and there goes Lawler, dumped over. And Savage falls on the ropes. Savage, fireman carry throw, picks him up on the shoulders, airplane spin. He continues it. Lawler staggering, Savage staggering. And as Lawler swings at him, they both go down. Who's got to be burning up an awful lot of energy himself. Dumps Lawler down inside the cage. And the referee kind of pulled him. Savage didn't get his full jump on Lawler, but put him down to a knee and follows it up as he is right on top of Jerry Lawler. Slammed his head into that side of that cage. Can you imagine what both of these guys will feel like tomorrow? I can't believe they've been able to go 20 minutes in that cage. Crowd getting behind Lawler, trying to get him steamed up. Lawler blocking Savage's effort, catches him in the midsection, slams Randy into the side of the ring. And here's Lawler back in the ring. Going after Macho Man. Lawler heaves him over the side. He hits the cage. Here comes Big Joe LeDuc. LeDuc is climbing right over the top of that cage. I can't believe that. LeDuc in the air above Lawler. It's going to be a disqualification as LeDuc brings it about 20 minutes and 50 seconds. But now LeDuc and Savage have Lawler inside that cage. Minutes, 50 seconds. Joe LeDuc, we've told you how agile this guy is for a big man. Climbed right up over the top of that cage. Can't believe it. Dropped dropped down from the top turnbuckle. Now he and Savage are pounding Lawler and the referee. Lawler wins it, but oh, will he regret this one. Calhoun thrown over the top rope, dropped out into the concrete floor. LeDuc puts Lawler down on the deck. Here comes Savage. Drops with an elbow. They've got to get that door open and get some help in there for Lawler. While Savage holds him, LeDuc drops down with a big leg. Eddie Marlin, Jim Jamison, Dutch Mantell, Art Cruz, all coming out here. Eddie's got the key to the lock on the cage. They can't get the lock undone, and meanwhile, Savage and LeDuc just beating the stew out of Lawler. There goes Dutch in there. Jim Jamison. Savage gets away. Jamison and Dutch trying to get LeDuc out. Art Cruz helping Lawler. The referee, Jerry Calhoun, with a leg injured. Well, the winner in 2050, the King by disqualification, but boy, oh boy, he paid the price in it. Still the Southern Heavyweight champ, Jerry Lawler.
Next, Greg the Hammer Valentine from Florida meets the Deadly Dutchman over to ringside.
Take a look at the Hammer! Greg the Hammer Valentine making his way toward the ring. Welcome back. It's Brian Webster at ringside with Mike Pittman. And I'll tell you what, we are going to see talent and legendary performance by this man right here, Greg Valentine.
One of the all-time greats and one of the all-time crowd favorites is Greg the Hammer Valentine.
Taking on the Deadly Dutchman from northern Bohemia as they do the collar elbow tie-up, and Greg the Hammer, being the gentleman he is, he's going to back up the Deadly Dutchman. Of course, Greg the Hammer Valentine has done it all. He's been a television champion, a United States champion, an intercontinental champion, one half of the tag team champions of the world. And now he's here, and he is ready as he ties up once again with the Deadly Dutchman. And there's some classic Valentine wrestling for you. A hammerlock into a rollover and a pinning combination.
And you know, Brian, we mentioned that you will see the finest in pro wrestling action right here on International World Class Championship Wrestling. You will see the likes of Greg the Hammer Valentine and many, many more.
The Hammer opting for the arm bar at this point. Normally, Valentine likes to keep his moves geared towards the legs. Of course, he is the one and only master of the figure 4 leg lock.
And this is yet another submission hold that the Hammer has in his repertoire.
And he's got the Deadly Dutchman tied up, and that's not going to feel too good as Valentine drops his all 250 pounds on that arm of the Deadly Dutchman. Backs him into a corner now, meanwhile maintaining somewhat of a front face lock. Oh, classic Valentine chop. Another one.
And those chops to the throat, look at the red swelling marks on the throat of the Dutchman.
Already with a big elbow, it's Greg the Hammer Valentine taking over. Another chop sends the Dutchman down.
And now here is the Hammer working on that leg. Will he go into the figure 4?
And the fans know what's coming.
There's
Greg the Hammer Valentine starts to work on the legs of the Deadly Dutchman as he drops down. Another chop. And whips his man to the ropes. The Dutchman is off, and a big elbow by Valentine.
And once again, we see the Hammer working with those legs. Here we go.
And here it comes into a spinning toe hold. Valentine, the master of that hold right there, the figure 4 leg rock. Billy Silverman, the referee, asking him. And he calls for the bell. Greg the Hammer Valentine wins it.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner by submission, Greg the Hammer Valentine.
The Sheepherders have been one of the top 5 tag teams for many years. In our next bout, they fight a much less experienced duo, the Rockers.
Now we're going to talk to some of the favorites of the Teeny Boppers, the Rockers, Joe Savoldi and Al Perez. Al?
Well, you know, let me tell you, we ran into these sheep herders a long time ago in different countries, see world champ. We travel all over the world. Let me tell you something. We don't like you, brother, and we still hold what you want. And, baby, it's going to be a lot before you get it off. Come in the ring, beat us in the ring, beat us there, and, brother, you'll get that title shot because it's only rock and roll, baby.
Joe, I know you're back your partner up.
Well, here we are, baby, back in the Boston, New England area, baby, where rock and roll is king. Here we are. We're going to come back strong, rock and roll, baby. People behind us, that's all we need. We're going to win that song and come out dancing, baby.
The Rockers, Savoldi and Perez out against the Sheepherders, Williams and Miller. And it is Butch Miller starting for his tandem. Circling now with Al Perez. Perez shoots Miller off. Butch catches him with that shoulder block. The tag goes to Luke Williams. And George, we're talking about good tag teams. We're seeing two of them here in this match, a main event any place in the world.
Got it.
Luke Williams comes up with a reverse chin lock on Al Perez, applying the pressure now, cranking down. Comes up with the headlock now. As Perez shoots him off, Luke catches him with that shoulder block on the move. Over the top goes the Sheepherder. And waiting on him is Perez with a drop kick. Arm drag, takedown, headlock, throws in the hip, and goes to the canvas. We're seeing a lot of speed, but of course, we're also seeing George speed against speed because the Sheepherders, although they prefer the back alley brawling style, they do have the speed to move to the Rockers if need be.
They take off quite frequently together. They're real fast.
Good move by Savoldi as he comes over the top. Luke Williams caught unaware, and it's Joe Savoldi. But Butch Miller catches a tap on the outside, moves in, and he's in control. And I believe this kind of match is going to see seesawing back and forth, George.
Right.
One count, and Miller right out.
Both teams are going to go all out to win. Because
Yes, sir. Well, these two have feuded before, and it won't be the first time that a little different.
For years, the Sheepherders have been rated consistently in the top 5, one of the top teams in the world, whereas the Rockers are relatively new to the sport.
Well, this is true. This is true. And, you know, of course, you're mentioning being constantly rated or consistently rated in the top 5. And as Jonathan Boyd will clearly tell you, champions in 37 different countries, which in itself must be some kind of a record.
The old Kangaroos used to have a record similar to that.
Yes, that's right. And they were a great tag team as well. There's a good shot of Butch Miller. And I'm not really sure that the Sheepherders always play with 52 cards in their deck. Sometimes when you see an expression like that on Butch's face, you wonder.
I would have to agree with that.
Miller takes the tag. Williams steps out, and it's Savoldi in trouble now. Hooks him, drops him, may have the pin here. No. 2 count. Miller using the legs to crack Savoldi alongside the head. Look here. Joe blocks it and sends Butch crashing into that turnbuckle.
Joe's showing some good form.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And I was just about to mention to you, George, that we have seen no clear-cut advantage here yet. It's been back and forth with both teams taking the advantage. Good shoulder block by Joe Savoldi, and he's caught with a knee in the small of the back by Luke Williams on the outside. And, of course, Jonathan Boyd must be as happy as he can be outside that ring at this point. Quite a contrast in Jonathan Boyd and the Angel. If I've got to have a distraction one or the other, I think I'd take the Angel.
You'd rather go with the Angel than Jonathan Boyd.
Luke Williams taking over and in control now. With Savoldi being hammered around the small of the back. Luke makes the tag. Partner Butch Miller moves in. Goes with a shot to the midsection himself. And Joe needs to make that corner, George. Needs to get the tag in.
Perez, yes. At least he's getting closer here.
Sometimes a few inches can be like a mile.
Butch is going to keep him away, though.
Again, good strategy of a good team. You draw that imaginary line across the center of that ring and try and keep your opponents on your side of that line. Joe Savoldi with a kick. Down goes Butch Miller, but he makes the tag. Is Savoldi going to make it? No. We're talking about inches being like miles. There's an example right there, George.
Luke is sadistic. I think of the two, he's more sadistic than Butch.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I think he enjoys administering that pain. Savoli needs to make that tag. He needs to make it bad, but Luke Williams is not going to allow it. Whoa! We can hear that boot crack all the way up here. And now, Savoli again trying to crawl. Look here. Close, so close. But Butch stopped it. Frustration and disappointment certainly.
How would Perez feel on the outside?
Oh, he's got to be so frustrated, George, at this point. You know, wanting to go in there, realizing that he can't without drawing the referee. And right now, he needs to be in there. Needs that tag. Needs it bad.
Almost a 3 count on that one.
Close, so very close. And that's got to be frustrating for Miller and Williams. Luke Williams now shoots Savoli in and goes to the elbow. Savoli with an elbow of his own on a return trip. Williams down, Savoli down. Savoli going for the corner. Luke trying to get him. The tag is made, and here comes Al Perez. Perez takes over and goes to Fifth City. Williamson crashing in that corner, catches the elbow on the way out. And Perez in the driver's seat. Drop kick, down goes Williams. Let's see if he'll go for the pin. Knee drop, he may have him here, George. A 2 count. Close, but almost only counts in horseshoes.
Dominant stretch here, Perez.
He may have it again. He may have it
Butch.
Savoli.
Savoli keeping him out. It's a good move.
Yes, the referee has his hands full. And watch now, look here. As long as Perez has had that stretch, he may have gotten a submission, but the referee is busy with Savoli. And now he's got the sleeper. He's got it on Butch Miller. Miller, the illegal man in. Let's see what's going to happen here. A knee by Luke Williams in the small of the back. May have turned the tide of battle once again, but there's Savoli in. And at this point, the referee's calling a stop, and I was about to say, I'm not sure who the legal man is at this point myself.
It was Luke and Perez, I believe.
He's lost control. I believe you're right. Perez and Luke Williams should be the legal men in that ring. The referee, Tom Fornini, has lost control and wisely calls a halt. I'm sure he'll call this a no contest.
The kings of the ring are breaking it, taking all the money and they're making it. One bash in the lip like a guitar lick, and the sound of a slap is like the crack of a whip. The rockers are rolling, the sheep herders want a title they are holding. Holding arms in the air and adrenaline flow. After 2 or 3 rounds, it's the smell of VO. Sergeant Slaughter, Mr. USA, Super couldn't do it, so he ran away. Thumbs down, for the macho man, the king terrapin spin, and that's macho in a can. 1, 2, 3, shall we count to 10? Believe his return, he's won again. He sounds for a while, then he looks at the crowd and he screams, that's the fiend, they are born to be wild. Born to be wild, they're born to be wild. Freestyle, 1, 2, 3, kick it, cause I want it like it. They're born to be wild, they're born to be wild.
Next, a title match for the Mid-South Team Championships between the Samoans and the 2 heavyweight champions Ted DiBiase and Bob Roop.
This is a sanctioned championship match for the Mid-South Tag Team titles. The champions, Alpha and Sika, the Samoan Warriors, and of course their financial advisor in the ring now, the Big Cat Ernie Ladd, against the challengers for the title, Bob Roop and Ted DiBiase. Bill, should be a wild title match right here on Mid-South Television.
Well, again, I got to congratulate Grizzly Smith. You know, he gives the people at home the best right here on television. I guess that's why Mid-South Wrestling is #1 in its time segment in every market that it plays. And this is a great bout. There are several standby matches in case this goes the television time limit. But these guys realize that, you know, in an arena, the time limit would be an hour. On television, You don't have about another 30 or 40 minutes. They know they got to make it happen. They got to get out there and put it together. So they'll be taking a lot more chances. A lot of pride at stake. Ted DiBiase, youngster, great athlete. Of course, you just heard the pressure been put on him. Paul Orndorff has offered a bonus, spelled the same as B-O-U-N-T-Y, I guess, for the man that can injure Ted DiBiase, and I'm sure these Samoans have got that translated to them real crystal clear by Ernie Ladd, as mercenary as he is, and Bob Roop, the Louisiana champion out there. So I know Ernie Ladd would like to see Bob Roop slowing down a little bit, because Ernie Ladd seems to use these Samoans to further his own personal interests. Tremendous move by Roop there. Mike George against Crazy Luke Graham will be the first standby match. Vinny Romero against the great Kabuki. Then Kerry Von Erich and Jim Garvin against Carl Fergie and Jake Savage. And Bill Irwin and Ken Mantell. These are just some of the great matches scheduled. Good drop kick. You know, DiBiase's got that tremendous range and that fluid motion. He's about 250 pounds. He told me today that he's back up. He's regained his weight since his injuries and stuff in Atlanta, and he really feels back in the prime of his wrestling career. Of course, again, I've got to just look at Orndorff twist the truth. He said he became the #1 contender for the North American title and patiently waited in line until he got a title match. And Boyd Pierce, we saw him right here on Mid-South Wrestling not only force the title issue, but then when he didn't show up and somebody else won the title, attack the man that did it. The Samoans, they're awesome. They're already being nicknamed by the wrestlers as the Animals because they are awesome and they're so basic. Small warriors, and they take it to you. They're both over 300 pounds. They can move. They're going to work. They're trying to soften DiBiase up. DiBiase blocks the one shot and answers the one. Alpha and Sika. Crowd chanting for Ted to go. They're getting Ted over in the corner and isolating him. If they can isolate him from Bob Roode and not let him get out and make the tag. They got 4 seconds to one man to get out. That's that teamwork. The brothers have been together. They've been together for years. 13 years they've been wrestling together, so they've got every angle where they can capitalize on it. In 4-second count, they can do a lot of damage to a man. They hollered each other in Samoan in the ring, so nobody can pick up their signals. Bob Roode, champion at the bit, wanting to get in there. DiBiase in a lot of trouble. I've seen DiBiase in trouble a lot of times, and he seems to have that inner reserve of strength and courage where he always manages to fire back and take it to him. Let's face it, when your father was critically injured and died wrestling in the ring, for a young man to want to follow in those footsteps and to become a superstar like his father was, that takes a lot of guts and courage right there. And went for the flying headbutt. DiBiase gets out of the way, Boyd. The tag is made to Bob Roop. He got out of there. That's a key thing. Roop, the fresh man, can come in. Roop carrying the battle. Roop fighting them both. He's going for the shoulder breaker. Ernie Ladd getting up. DiBiase stopping Ernie Ladd, makes the save. Roop's got the man with the shoulder breaker. And the referee's distracted, doesn't see the other Samoan come off the top rope and wipe out Bob Roop. Bob Roop's in a lot of trouble. Ernie Ladd used that distraction to draw DiBiase while he was drawing the other Samoan warrior, helped his brother out. Bob Roop's in a lot of trouble. The man came off with the 300 pounds off that top rope. Bob Roop trying to go for the tag. He hadn't gotten there, and the other Samoans tagged. And there's the fresh man in on Bob Roop, and he's in a lot of trouble, Boyd Pierce.
Now you see the Samoan standing between Bob Roop and the outstretched hands of Ted DiBiase.
That's right, and that's where you find the financial advisor becomes an integral part of the team and actually adds one more member to it because Ernie Ladd flat distracted the referee and drew Ted DiBiase to let his man save the other and injure Bob Roop. Bob Roop had that match wrapped up with that shoulder breaker right there. They would have had new Mid-South Tag Champions. Bob Roop trying to drive him into Ted DiBiase's corner, trying to get into that tag. He's hurt. He knows he's got to tag DiBiase. But the big Samoan, there's Roop making a tag. DiBiase's in. Referee didn't see the tag. The referee didn't see the tag. They're going.
He did not see the tag.
They're going for the double clothesline. Now, Ted DiBiase just said to heck with it. He drags Jack Howe out and Jack Howe's down. DiBiase's pulling Ernie Ladd in, but it allowed Bob Roop to get up. And Bob Roop's going to the shoulder breaker right there. DiBiase's got Ladd out of the way. Bob Roop's going for the shoulder. Referee counting the fall. 1, 2, 3. Looks like we got new Mid-South Tag Team Champions. New Mid-South Tag Champions. Jack Howe. Bob Roop's holding it. It's signifying they won. But Jack Howe hit a 3 count, but he's saying no now. Bob Roop's grabbed the titles, giving one DiBiase and hold him up. But Jack Howe saying no, Boyd Pierce.
Bill, let me try to find out what the official decision from Jack Howe, if we can get his attention. Jack. What's the decision?
To make this plain here, what's happened is, while there was a 3 count, Ernie Ladd was in the ring as usual, interfering. And as a disqualification, the belts remain in the same position.
So they're still the champion. So there you have it. Disqualification call, so that means that Hop and Sika, Bill, are still the Mid-South Tag Team Champions.
The Southern Heavyweight belt is at stake now as we witness a bruising contest between Jerry Lawler and California's Rick Rude. Angel pulling the leg of Lawler while Rude attacks him from the front, blasts him down. Now he is really bombing it, Jerry. Remember, the Southern Heavyweight belt is at stake. I'm certain that Lawler has not forgotten that. Whoa, good night. Rude really bounced him off, and Lawler came out of it. But he didn't come out of it all that hard, and Rude puts him back down again. I haven't really taken the efforts of this brash young man out of California too seriously. But I'm here to tell, now there you got to look out for. Neidhart over-pounding on Lawler while the referee is distracted by Rude, and they're arguing where the referee's back to the rope where Neidhart and Angel took over, and then they break it up when the referee turns around, and Lawler down again. Big elbow. Rude covers 1, 2. Jerry kicks. Right shoulder is up. Right at the 14-minute mark, a little shy of it, as Rude slams Lawler's head down into the canvas. Reverse neck breaker. Well, Rude is showing he has got pretty good working knowledge of the basics. 1, 2, and a foot goes over the rope. As Lawler saved the effort of kicking out of it. Now Rude takes it off. That doesn't show too much gray matter up there, as Lawler has accused Rude of being all body and no brain.
Took his foot off, and Lawler just waited till the count, resting, taking advantage of it, popped it right up on the rope again. This time, Jerry kicks out. Rude definitely with the point of the elbow. Right in the back of the neck of Lawler. Lawler's leg is already over the rope, so there won't even be a count. The referee telling him that. There's the 15-minute call, 45 to go, and Rick Rude making a rather surprising attack on the King. Rude blasting away, and Lawler comes that strap. And Lawler comes back at him. Look out. Here comes Lawler. Rude is about to find out the depth of that desire of Lawler's to keep that belt. Have had him down, but not many of them have been able to keep him down. Oh, and Rude slams Lawler into the referee. Lawler hit his head with Calhoun. Lawler covers Rude as he rolled out of the way, causing Rude to miss. The referee still down. Here comes Neidhart. Lawler jumps out of the way. Neidhart nails Rude rather than Lawler. And Rude firing across the ring, and Lawler's back. Angel comes in the ring. Lawler better look out. His attention is distracted. Rude, bang, nails him right on top of the head. He covers up Lawler. Neidhart gets the referee around. 1, 2, 3, and Lawler has lost the Southern Heavyweight title. 1, 2, 3. And Rick Rude is declared the winner with the help of Neidhart and Angel. The new Southern Heavyweight champion is Rick Rude. I can't believe it. But Lawler's shoulder indeed counted 1, 2, 3. And Rude has the belt. Oh, Lawler cracked Neidhart and Rude, but that isn't going to help him get the belt back. Here comes Angel with a chair. And Angel blasts Lawler with that chair, and he doesn't move. Boy, he knocked her flat. Can't say to blame him. Here comes Rude. Here comes Neidhart. Angel laying on the ring apron. Neidhart is holding. Rude pitching. Lawler's already lost the belt. Here comes Tommy Rich, Eddie Gilbert. Here comes Coco. Norvell. Coco hitting Lawler with a chair, and Norvell coming after him. Eddie Gilbert and Rude. off the ring apron. Gets her out of the line of fire. Here comes Tommy Rich. Rich going after Neidhart. Rude picks Angel up. Gilbert and Rich going after Neidhart while Coco and Norvell working on Lawler. Rich and Gilbert back. They got chairs. And with that, the PYT Express leaves the ring.
Next on All-Star American Wrestling, perestroika is a thing of the past as the ever-popular Sergeant Slaughter meets the Russian Boris Zhukov.
You're not going to believe who is going to be coming to the squared circle. The Sheik has gone through all means to make the Russian an American champion belt and take it back to Russia. And he's going to have to go against the man who is Mr. USA, who is born in the USA. And he's going to have his total hands full because you're right, you're seeing him. It is him, Sergeant Slaughter, Mr. USA himself. This crowd is going out of its mind. Mr. G.I. Joe, Sergeant Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter just walks around the ringside. The Russian in disbelief. Joining me here, the AWA heavyweight champion of the world, Nick Bockwinkel. Nick, this has to be a tremendous test for the Russian. I think he represents every young kid in the United States. And boy, listen to this place. I can just about hear myself talking here. But they are just going crazy here.
Ladies and gentlemen,
let's go to the ring announcer.
This matchup is for one fall with a 1 hour 5 minutes.
The ring announcer now making the announcements. Look at this. Look at this. He's got his own flag, Nick. He took in his own flag. He took out one of the young guys out of the audience. And the Sheik is taking the American flag, and boy, I tell you what, you better not fool with the Sarge.
I think the Sheik's got more guts than he does brains to do what he just did.
Boy, I tell you, I think I have to agree with you there. This really has come down to that red Russian flag against the red, white, and blue. And the Sarge, I'm telling you, we could not have found anyone better to defend it.
Well, the thing is, of course, needless to say, we're on home turf. Sergeant Slaughter has got the home crowd behind him. So the real test is for the Russian. And I mean, he's really working at a handicap.
Sergeant's got the
nobody
flag.
here, right?
Excuse me, Nick. The Sergeant is taking the flag. The Russian is saying, Sergeant wants to rip this place is going wild.
You will be ejected from the building. Please do not throw any type of object toward the ring area.
I'll tell you, this place is just going crazy here. I just want to thank these beautiful people here at Manatee Civic Center for giving us such beautiful facilities here in beautiful Florida. Listen to this crowd, Nick.
I guess that kind of says it, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, it does.
For every American right there. The camera didn't catch that, but the Sarge used the Russian flag for the 7-day deodorant pad.
Yeah, I'll tell you, sometimes words are not needed.
That's true.
Sometimes words are not needed.
The Russian still seems to, of course, respect his own flag and folding it up regardless.
Well, you know, you must give him credit in that sense. That is his home country, and I'm sure he has his feelings. Look out! Oh, with the chain. The sergeant vigorously takes the chain, wraps it around the throat.
The Russian made the first move, Mario, so you can't begrudge even the referee at this point.
Not at all.
He's got the Russian's chain, and the Russian's on the receiving end of it.
He deserves it. He tried to do it. He tried to hit him with that chain on his blind side. Oh, look at that.
Just shoved it right underneath his neck, his chin.
The
referee, don't know. He's got it around his neck now.
Yeah, but the referee should stop this now. He should get the chain out of there.
That's true. It has no place in the match. The contest is supposed to be for the sport of wrestling, and I know there's a lot of...
Oh, he's whipping him.
Well, maybe the Russian will never bring the chain to the ring again. Do I have to say much more about the chain because of what I've known and gone through in the past year with Larry Zbyszko and the nunchucks?
The Sheik is coming up on the back rope. The Sheik is trying to get the attention of the ref. The Cobra Clutch is applied.
And I hope it's not the American way because it's a sad state of affairs.
Right, so in other words, when he gets so far in this, he might think he has Slaughter just a little bit more dazed than he apparently does have him.
Hang in there. I hate to sound like John Madden calling it, but after you've done it all these years, you've been there, you know what it's like, you know what's going on. And that's exactly what's taking place here. The Russian did not have him. Look at this.
Beautiful.
He's got him in the Cobra Clutch.
He's got him. That is it, the Cobra Clutch.
And the Cobra Clutch.
The Sheik is coming up on the back rope. The Sheik is trying to get the attention of the ref. The Cobra Clutch is applied. The Russian is down. He didn't even go to his knees. Oh, look at this. He throws the ref away. Slaughter. Bad move there, Nick. He wants that Sheik, though. Oh, he switched him. Look at this.
Come on, come on. Somebody better move.
Look at this. Slaughter moves. He hits the Sheik. The Sheik is down. There's the clothesline. Slaughter covers 2, 3.
It's over.
It's over. The winner. It's over. This
Why, Mario?
Going wild.
Four of the meanest wrestlers in the world meet in the ring as Bruno Sammartino and Dick the Bruiser come up against Ernie Ladd and Baron von Raschke.
The action has started already. Sam is going to have his hands full, that is for sure. 4 of the largest, toughest, roughest, strongest wrestlers in the world are in that ring, legally only 2 at a time. The Bruiser and the Baron leading off. What an exciting match this is already. Side headlock on the Baron by the Bruiser. Body block. Bruiser taking over completely in the first fall of the match. Here comes Dick the Bruiser right down on the solar plexus of Baron von Raschke. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a best 2 out of 3 falls match to a curfew. The curfew, of course, being the end of our television broadcast. Sam is being pushed around by Ernie Big Cat Ladd right now. That's something he's not going to stand for. Pouring it on. This is a rough kind of a match to referee. Sam Miniker has his hands full tonight. There is no way one man can watch 4 wrestlers and a manager. Ernie Ladd trying to get bad with Sam. It's Bruno and Ernie Ladd. One of the world's strongest wrestlers, pouring it on Big Ernie Ladd. There's a pin. Wasn't effective. Ladd's leg was outside of the ropes. Sammartino and Dick the Bruiser in the ring. Their opponents outside the ring. Bruno pouring it on Big Ernie Ladd right now. Bruno trying for a pin. Ernie Ladd's leg again outside the rope. The pin cannot take place. Maybe in a little bit of trouble now. Oh, there's a vicious chop by Baron von Raschke. Sammartino moves out of the way. That'll teach the Baron. Dick the Bruiser coming back into the ring. The Bruiser is excited. The Bruiser's going wild. Big Cat Ladd in the ring now. The Bruiser's handling him. Looks like all the action's going to be outside of the ropes. A headbutt between Ladd and von Raschke. Bruiser and Sammartino at this moment in control of the match. Bruno is after Heenan. Heenan has no intention of being caught. Who could blame him? There's a try for a pin by the Bruiser, and Heenan illegally comes into the ring. A backdrop by the Bruiser on von Raschke. Here's the pin. Pin Baron von Raschke in the first fall, everybody. Baron von Raschke is really angry over that decision. He's protesting. There's nothing he can do. The referee is in charge.
That's all for Volume 1 of All-Star American Wrestling. Take your ringside seat soon for Volume 2 when we enter the Shark Cage to see Chief Jay Strongbow battle with Bulldog Don Kent. And we'll be talking to Tony Atlas and his opponent Nikolai Volkov. That's Volume 2 of All-Star American Wrestling. Be there if you dare. You all take good care now.